Today, we're 3D printing and assembling Snake's SOCOM Mark 23C from the Metal Gear series of games. But we're going to do it with a twist because it's going to be transparent and red. And the reason for this is that Ubisoft added Snake to Rainbow Six Siege, and of course, Rainbow Six Siege has black ice. They recently added in color variants of black ice, and I thought this would be cool to combine these two things together and make a fully transparent red ice variant of his SOCOM Mark 23. Now the files we're using today are all free. They're made by Leslie SDL, otherwise known as 3D Workbench, and these are incredible models. The great thing is you can actually put them together with no glue and you can fully disassemble, which hint and upcoming spoiler, we don't manage to do with this one because we're going to be printing the whole thing out of resin instead, and the tolerances are made for PLA, so there's a little bit more work in the sanding department than usually would have to be done with this model, and as a result we end up with a couple of little problems. But I'll also show you the previous version I did in PLA, which works perfectly to show you what the actual proper version of this looks like if I wasn't the one to mess it up. And the great thing about this model is it doesn't just come with the files, you also get an instruction in PDF form so you can follow. And again, all for free, which is amazing. And this is definitely just cool to put together. It's first of all satisfying to build. It's pretty easy to actually print, surprisingly. And the elements, once you put the whole thing together, are super satisfying because you can take them apart. There's going to be 3 main sections we'll have in this model, but also the entire thing can literally be pulled apart if you wanted to, and then you could like rebuild it or whatever. It's just excellent. And because I love computer games, I love the props inside computer games. For instance, some of the best stuff I've played around with has actually been props for GoldenEye, which have these like low polygon props that when you print them in real life, they look so cool, and someone actually put their time and effort into making them, and it's just sweet to do. But anyway, back to this one. We're going ahead and building this up. I should warn you, I put a band in here, which is part of the mechanism because this is rubber band operated. However, unfortunately, that band breaks. The whole thing is supposed to be taken apart. However, because of how I'm putting this together with resin, we did have a bit that just couldn't come out, so I couldn't replace it, which is a real pity. If I'd take a touch more effort, but this is it, right? If you build these models the first time round, you can learn from it. So this is the first time I've done it in resin. So if I came back around doing it again, I'll have a much better understanding of what I need to do better. And that's a lot about 3D printing. Like when you're getting into 3D printing for the first time, you're going to print a lot of stuff and fail. And then as you figure it all out, you're going to get a lot better. And especially with resin, I have no real excuse here because resin is surprisingly easy to sand. So I bought a file set and I'm able to really help to fix any inconsistencies because these models are usually made for PLA, not for resin. But you do have to make sure you're wearing proper gear because you do not want to be breathing in like resin particles. It is not good for you. And as you can see here, we've now got our rubber band installed and it is working beautifully. So this is really cool. And of course, the fact that it's transparent means you can actually see the operation of the rubber band inside it, which is just cool. So yeah, all this at this point was going really well. And I did have to do a little bit of filing here and there, but not much overall. However, there's going to be a lot more filing we'll do later. Now you can see we're locking this part in. This can all be removed, but it's going to get to the point where this resin is just too tight on the tolerances. And as a result, we ain't getting out because it's really good for whacking resin in. Brilliant, right? You can do that easily. However, if you want to get something out, like this piece here, for example, I can whack on it all day. It's going to be fine. However, if I want to take it out, I'm going to have to probably use like a screwdriver to just get a tap on the right location to start moving it. And at that point, that's when you can break it. And when it does break, it breaks like glass. And at that point, of course, it'll just shatter essentially. And this is the only part here that you actually need to glue. The rest of it all interlocks each other into place. It is just a marvel of engineering, I think, these 3D models. And then this will simply slide onto the top. Now, I can give you a couple of pieces of great advice here. If you're going to print this in PLA, which this model's made for, then you don't really have to do any sanding, because if you can get it all together, then you can just start moving bits. The bits that are supposed to move, you move them, and the PLA will sand itself, essentially, and it will eventually free up, which is really good. Add a little bit of oil in there once it's freed up, and it'll work brilliantly. Resin, a little bit more work, but what I would recommend is if you're needing to get a rail or something like that to be more easy to move along, you add toothpaste, because toothpaste is an abrasive, but It's great for like squeezing into tight spaces, and then you can just push things back and forward and it will gently sand stuff down. And it's a really good way just to get those tolerances a little bit freer. And the great thing about toothpaste is you can then wash it away very easily. But you do have to have it at a point where it's already moving at least a little bit. You can see here we've also got a piece that goes in and it locks in there, and it actually has a release to press to move it out. This is all why I love this. It's all fidgety. It's all kind of mess around with. Next, we're moving away from our main body to one of the attachments, and this really makes it into Snake's weapon. And that is a couple of pieces go on here. Then we lock the whole thing together with this. And then we have our piece for the laser on the front. Of course, there's no actual laser here, but this looks good. And because we're going to be painting this up with the ice theme, I'm going to take that off. But we did test it to make sure it all went in fine, because we're going to have this actually be on the front white. And then it's going to have that red laser lens on there, which should add beautiful contrast to the overall design. And again, this is some incredible engineering. This piece goes on the top here, and this gets pressure fitted really well, but it actually has a piece in there so you can take it out. So it's mental that the person who designed this thought, you know what, I want to make it so you can take apart every single piece of this. It really doesn't need to have that, but I love the effort that's being put in. And now we have completed assembly. However, we're not done. We're going to give this a cool paint job as well. So this is just a test fit, make sure everything's going on fine. Everything to begin with when screwing on was really stiff, but of course taking it on and off a few times freed it all up. And now it's time to do a rudimentary mask. And we're going to go for an aesthetic here that is of course not from the Metal Gear series, because Snake was added in Rainbow Six Siege, and Rainbow Six Siege has black ice weapon skin and just recently added in color variants. We're going to attempt to recreate that, because I think in my head this is a great idea and it's going to look amazing. So because of the black ice, they start at white in the game and they go to a kind of gradient towards the back where they have the color. And I wanted to see if we could recreate something here. And the reason I went for this model for this is you have the slide which pulls back, so the white will be broken up. You also have the laser sight that can come off, so again that white will be broken up when it moves. So everything about this I think can make it look amazing. So right now looks good, but we're going to add a clear coat to the whole thing now, and that should result in it looking very icy, which is of course what we're after. We've got a transparent prop and we want to make it look like it really is ice when you're holding it. And I think I pulled it off. It could be better, but I really don't think I could do much better with my skill set. And this is already way above my skill set. Resin printing has opened up the possibility for me to do way more than I should be able to do. And as a result, we've got some incredible stuff here that I could not even imagine doing 6 months ago. And at this point, I will tell you, unfortunately, we did have a fail here, and that is the rubber band inside broke. So there is no operational rubber band element to this, which is really unfortunate. And because it's resin, there's no way I'm taking this apart to change out that band without breaking something. So I thought I'm going to leave it. It still looks amazing. And be honest, this is exactly what this thing's all about. It's about just having it on show, looking cool. It is cool to pick up because it weighs a lot. It's, you know, all the parts are hollow, but because it's resin over PLA, it weighs a ton compared to the PLA version. So here is our PLA version. I wanted to show you what this thing is actually like when it's operational with its rubber band inside. And as you can see, it actually works incredibly well. We've also got that lever on the side, which will lock the slide back. And yeah, you can just play around with this. And that's the thing, why I love these 3D prints a lot, is you've got that fidget element. And because I'm from the UK, we don't have anything that's like this over here. And I'll also point out, we don't want anything like this real over here, right? We're not interested in that at all. But this element of fidgetiness and taking something from a computer game, making it real, is just really cool to mess around with, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to leave you now with some high quality photos. Let me know what you think of this, and I'll catch you next time.